Alan.
I'd like to, with reference to the MBDA, do you have any feedback from contractors or suppliers that may have been negatively affected by this particular impasse where we're not getting our equitable share?
So, first of all, there's two aspects that you need to understand. There is the functioning of the MBDA itself, and understand that it's becoming quite difficult, and that they might only have enough operational funding for another 30 days or so, for another month or just over a month. That was one of the aspects in terms of the former chairperson complained that she said I intervened or interfered in the process when I cautioned the city manager that they shouldn't transfer any further funding because they are rogue, and I think that situation was justified given the impasse and the fact that they are wholly owned by the municipality. So in terms of contractors, one of the issues that I didn't touch on was how many contractors are not being paid at the moment or has got arrear accounts with the municipality. It's one of the issues that I have to deal with on a daily basis, to try and back channel for contractors in the city to try and secure their funding. So the majority of the new projects could not take off because the planning can't happen. You can't procure if the money hasn't been secured. And in fact, we had a ridiculous example where there were, in actual fact, meters, water meters installed, but that water and sanitation, or the Department of Water Services, could only do straight connections because Budget and Treasury would not release those water meters to the Department of Water Services because they didn't have budget. As nonsensical as that sounds, that is the real effect. There are currently hundreds of households that have got straight connections and now has to be dealt with. So in short, many of our projects have been affected, and that unfortunately is concerning because we're going to be in exactly the same position we were last year, that in the first quarter very little expenditure has happened, and then you have to excel through the latter part of the year, which is not ideal. A follow up on that?
Just a quick follow up, sorry. So if this impasse continues, could it materially affect the employees, for instance? Are they paid through MBDA or are they paid through municipality?
Well, certainly the employees of the MBDA will be affected. If the impasse continues, it won't affect employees of the mother organization or the municipality. We still have a sufficient amount of reserves. But it will certainly start affecting the MBDA. The reality is we all want the MBDA to function and function optimally. It's been limping over the last couple of years. We've seen how it is a shadow of its former self, and now with this latest developments, it is on the brink of collapse. And quite frankly, if we can't get it functioning again, Alan, then we can't justify transferring 200 million rand a year over to them. Then we'll have to reconsider either restructuring or doing away with the entity altogether, and that would be a very sad day.